Is my mic on? Because normally okay. What is up, everybody? It is freaking 3 o'clock in the morning. Today we're gonna be going on Insta and um okay. This is wait, I just wanna watch this real quick. I have to watch this. Sorry about that. Okay, we're gonna be watching some sus Reddit story, bro. Reddit, bro. Okay, bro. Like, see, I just. Alright, stop.
I know that the title sounds crazy, but let me explain. My 14-year-old son loves to ride dirt bikes, and 2 months ago he had a huge accident and broke both of his arms and wrists. So he has no movement
What about his day?
in his arms and hands whatsoever. After the surgeries, my son started to get really angry all the time. I
Why?
him being upset over the condition that he is in, but it continued for weeks. So finally, I asked him what was wrong, and he told me that he couldn't stroke it without any movement
Bro,
of his arms.
who cares?
So I offered to help him just that one time. So like any good mother would do, I let him blow his load on my face. At first I was kind of disgusted because you know who wouldn't be, but I continued to do it. I started giving him help in other ways too.
Whoa!
After a couple weeks we were full blown doing it.
Whoa!
So much, and I love seeing him be so happy. But I don't know how I feel about this. I feel kind of disgusted, but I enjoy it so much I don't know how to stop. It just turns me on knowing I took my son's D card. Yesterday my husband caught it. He obviously was in shock, and I don't blame him. We have done nothing but argue since then, and he insists that I need psychiatric help.
Sure, yeah, you do.
I need mental health.
Yes.
It fills me up. I know. I'm a 28-year-old woman, and when I was 13, my parents left me at a gas station to teach me a lesson.
So, I'm looking for Reddit stories.
I'm a 28-year-old woman.
Shut the frick up.
Roommate saw me riding a toy. Said he'd be
Oh my God. Yo, who? Your roommate car.
a ride. This happened a while ago.
Wait, what?
Roommate saw me riding a toy. Said he'd be a better ride. This happened a while ago before I moved. I had a handful of roommates of various genders, and everyone was, well, a cheeky bunch. It was not uncommon to see someone dragging a stranger home from a bar, so when I messed around with myself, I wasn't exactly quiet about it. I was bouncing on my toy, trying to reach that spot inside of me that made me go crazy, but it was always so difficult by myself. Frustrated, I tried harder, shaking my bed and sounding like crazy until my door opened. One of my male roommates was standing there in his boxers, and his eyes watched me, completely without clothes with a toy buried in my kitty. Having trouble? He asked. I pouted, not wanting to admit that yes, I in fact was having a lot of trouble. He smiled, reading my expression, and closed the door behind him. He came to my bed and sat beside me. I know a much better DE you can bounce. Immediately, I was soaked with thirst.
Okay, bro. Oh my God!
I slid the toy out of me, and he pushed down his boxers, revealing a giant eating D. He took my hips in his hands and set me on his lap. His D pressed against my kitty, and then down, he pushed inside of me. The difference was instantly recognized.
This is making me edge. Why am I making this video, bro?
My brother and
bro, why did it restart?
And sat beside me. I know a much better DE you can bounce. Immediately, I was.
Just shut up.
He came to my bed and sat beside me. First, I slid the toy out of me, and he was instantly recognizable. A toy can do a lot, but there's nothing like a flesh and blood D to bounce. He hit me down on his D until I felt his marbles against my cake cheeks. He gripped my cake in both hands and started to lift me up and drop me onto his D, tapping his D inside of me over and over. I clung to his shoulders, sounding in pure ecstasy. He hit that spot deep inside of me that I could never reach, and his face, slack-jawed, as he stared up at me, wasn't hurting either. He leaned forward, sipping a melon into his mouth as I bounced him, bouncing on his D.
Okay, bro, I'm gonna actually do backflips off a cliff right now. This is making me hard and it's making me edge, dog. Just why am I making this video?
Difference was instantly recognizable. A toy can do a lot, but there's nothing like a flex pure ecstasy. He hit that spot deep inside of me that I could never reach, and his face, black-jawed as he stared up at me, wasn't hurting either. He leaned forward, sipping a melon into his mouth as I bounced him, bouncing on his knee even as my knees began to ache. I didn't care. I wanted my satisfaction. Then he grabbed me and flipped us over, pushing my back into the sheets. His feet were still on the floor, giving him leverage as he hit into me. My legs were wrapped over his shoulders, my fingers balled up the sheets, and I threw my head back, screaming his name as he pushed me to the absolute limit. I dissolved in tremors and shakes as I came on his knees, collapsing to the bed, completely exhausted. He still kept going, hitting into me while kissing the side of my throat until finally he nutted. I felt the warmth inside me as he nutted in me raw, and I didn't regret it. It felt good to be used and pleasured by him, and I wanted more. How could I ever go back to toys when I had him at my place all the time? Just call me, he said.
Bro, I regret making this video, bro.
He pulled out. The next time you need to bounce a real D. Roommates saw me riding a toy.
This one?
My brother and I got lost in the woods, so he hid me behind a tree. My brother and...
Is it the same one as this one right here? Hold on, wait, where's my YouTube? Isn't it the same one? Wait a minute. Why? Okay, why am I on YouTube? Let me go to the... Let me go back. Where's my Instagram?
My brother and I got lost in the woods, so he hid me behind a tree. My brother and I love hiking. Growing up in the Pacific Northwest, we spent countless weekends exploring dense forests and picturesque trails. It was our way of bonding, a tradition we carried into adulthood. But nothing could have prepared us for what happened on our last hike.
Alright.
We set off early, the morning sun filtering through the thick canopy above.
Alright,
The trail was one we hadn't explored before, supposedly leading to a stunning hidden waterfall. Armed with our trusty map and a sense of adventure, we were ready for anything, or so we thought. A couple of hours in, we reached...
Wait, what is this goofy thing right here?
My stepsister.
What does it look like right there?
Began to set in. The canopy above. The trail was one we hadn't explored before, supposedly leading to a stunning hidden waterfall. Armed with our trusty map and a sense of adventure, we were ready for anything.
Like, bro, what? Dog, it's too thick.
Above. The trail was one we hadn't explored before. Armed with our trusty map and a sense of adventure, we were ready for anything, or so we thought. A couple of hours in, we reached a fork in the path that wasn't marked on our map. After a brief debate, we chose the left trail, convinced it was the right direction. It wasn't. As the hours passed, the trail became less distinct, the forest thicker and more oppressive. We tried to retrace our steps, but
you know what else is gonna get? Why did I like this? You know what else is gonna get thick?
Armed with our trusty map and a sense of adventure, we were ready for anything, or so we thought. It became less distinct, the forest thicker and more oppressive. We tried to retrace our steps, but everything looked the same. Panic began to set in. Our phones had no signal, and the sun was starting to set. We were well and truly lost. We decided to keep moving, hoping to find a landmark or an area with cell service. That's when my brother fell tumbling down a hill and out of nowhere fell into a small cave with mushrooms and moss everywhere. I froze, my heart pounding. My brother laying there senselessly, and I just called out to him, but no response. After what felt like an eternity, he called out my name and said, "A little help, please." I quickly grabbed him out. When I picked my brother and I got lost in the woods.
So he did it. So he freaked you, but you didn't tell us the story how he did. So.
Room getting ready for bed. Then I just left the shoebox on her.
My stepsister let.
Okay, bro.
Armed with.
My stepsister.
It's the same one, no.
My stepsister.
Bro.
Trigger warning.
Okay, wait. Which one? Okay, this one.
Room getting ready for bed. Then I just left the shoebox on her side of the bed and went to my room.
Man, this is part 2 for that one, the one that I didn't
Let
watch.
me pound her when my parents wasn't home. Since 3 years ago, every time I 22M take a shower.
Okay, what? Bro, it doesn't matter. Restart. Is that even English?
Would always come back to Nancy. My stepsister let me pound her when my parents wasn't home. Since 3 years ago, every time I 22M take a shower.
Since 3 years, every time I 22M take a shower.
But my thoughts would always come back to Nancy. 21M. She used to be a girl from my high school, a cute sweetheart that everybody adores. We used to flirt during PE until my dad decided to make her mom my stepmom.
Oh,
Yeah, Nancy is now my stepsister, and her daily choice of clothing is really an issue. I mean, you don't wear a short and white tank top with no undies around a guy. Not when you're his stepsis. Luckily, she went to Houston for college, so nothing ever happened. Yeah, I know it's cooked, but what else can I do? You know? Last Sunday, though, I was taking a shower when suddenly I heard front door clicked open downstairs.
oh,
Mom and
alright.
Dad were in Hawaii till Monday, so I immediately know something was off. Water dripping without anything on. I went silently from the bathroom and grabbed Dad's baseball bat.
Anyways, you know what else is... Okay, never mind.
As I crept into the hall and swung. Thank God for my poor aim. It was Nancy again, in her tank top and shorts, her hands up defensively. Her screams stopped midway as her gaze instantly snapping downward, lingering shamelessly just below my waist. A good minute went by before I heard her again. 5 minutes.
Why did you stood there naked for 5 minutes? I bet it. Okay. I can't even. Okay.
She whispers quietly, her voice shaky as if she was out of breath. Her head signals me to my bedroom door. Meet me inside. Follow for part.
Frick you, you.
Trigger warning, of course. These are some of the most fucked up Reddit threads I've
Okay, I don't mind.
The reason Grandma
Okay, yeah, just stop it.
moved away when my dad was still a baby to a big city or 3 days away from her family was because she stabbed her stepfather and almost killed him. It was a very small village. Later she told me he was a racist. She didn't elaborate on that, and I didn't ask any follow-up questions. She ended the convo with, I did the right thing, and we never met her side of the family. Found out that my aunt, who was 13 at the time, was raped by her uncle, my great-uncle, and had a
So about that, I just need to yawn and tell y'all that I am gay. I'm joking.
baby in a cellar in the basement of her house. The baby didn't make it, so she and her little sister buried it there. Years later, when the aunt, who had suppressed these memories, had a baby, she remembered it all. When her family found out, she was labelled the slut of the family. My dad's side is garbage. My uncle was arrested for a cold case of rape murder from 1972. He always seemed like a nice guy. I accidentally walked into the girls' locker room, so I had to fuck the entire cheerleading squad to win.
You wildcat, Rosa! I mistakenly. Okay. What the frick? Okay, bro. I mistakenly skipped.
Okay, listen, it was an honest mistake. The signs were switched. I was just trying to find the damn water fountain. I pushed the oil and bam, there they were. The whole varsity cheer squad fresh out of the shower. We all screamed. I froze. It was like a red, naked, angry tornado. The head cheerleader, Tiffany, pointed a finger at me. You're gonna get expelled for this, you pervert. My life flashed before my eyes. I couldn't go to TV over a wrong door.
And why she so quick to try to and throw? Wait, why she so quick to try and throw a ninja in jail?
I had to think fast. My brain short-circuited. I looked her dead in the eye, didn't look away from her face, and said, I'm not a pervert, but I can be your problem. She looked confused. What does that even mean? I undid my jeans. It means, if you tell on me, you just need to keep them calm. But if you keep the 6 nuts, you gain a man who can handle all of you at once. Got quiet. Be sure to drop. One of the girls in the back, short one, giggled. I'm kind of curious. She looked at her, then back at me. A slow, evil smile spread across her face. Fine, prove it. Yeah, take all of it. Right here, right.
POV, evil smile. Why are my fingers so long? Why are my fingers so long? Right. I think that's lucky. Get off. Why did 9? Okay, I wish I had that money.
Right
Okay.
now,
Right.
you can't. Straight to the principal.
Alright.
It was the hardest challenge of my life. I started with Tiffany against the lockers, then the pink hit girl in the bleachers. I lost count after the fifth one. Let's just say I gave all 12 of them the ride of their life. By the end, they weren't angry anymore. They were asking for my number. Now I'm like their team master.
Alright,
They have a schedule for me. I get a free pass to all their games.
let me cut the video because my dad's calling me. Alright, y'all, I'm back. Alright.
What's the weirdest thing you guessed? One, I was emptying your dishwasher and I didn't really know where anything was supposed to go. So I went ahead and rearranged all your cabinets in a way that makes sense to me. I knew my mother-in-law staying with us was going to be a problem, but this was a level I was not prepared for. She really couldn't.
Okay, and then after that, I grew into your face, and then after that, I busted a load in your face, and then after that, never mind.
Cabinets until she found the cups and put them in there. Two, we had a couple over for dinner. What do you do with your SO that isn't normal? One, when me and my ex would get into dumb arguments or
My girlfriend linked our smartwatches so we could compete in fitness. I didn't object. I just sat in dead silence at 2 a.m. watching her heart rate spike to 160 beats per minute while her GPS location pings directly inside my brother's bedroom. I changed the apartment lock before her heart rate dropped back to normal. Mia was obsessed
What?
with her smartwatch. She wore it everywhere to sleep, from the shower to dinner. 3 months into our relationship, she suggested we link our devices through the couples feature. It'll be fun. A fitness challenge. Thought it was cute. The app shared heart rate, step count, and live GPS between us 24 hours a day. My brother Derek lived 20 minutes away. The charming one in the family, good looking, always a little too comfortable around my girlfriend. I'd noticed small things with Mia. The hug at Thanksgiving that lasted a beat too long. The way she laughed at jokes that weren't funny. I told myself I was being paranoid. On a Tuesday night, Mia said she was staying at her friend Rachel's for a girls' night. She kissed me goodbye at 7 p.m. I couldn't sleep. At 2 a.m., I picked up my phone and opened the fitness app. The screen glowed in the dark bedroom. Mia's heart rate was active. Not sleeping, not resting. Active. 110 beats per minute. I watched the number climb. 125, 140, 155, 160. It held steady at 160 for several minutes. I sat up slowly, my own heart strangely calm. I tapped the live GPS map. The blue dot pulsed gently. I zoomed in. I recognized the neighborhood first, then the street, then the house. The dot was pinging from inside Derek's bedroom, second floor, northeast corner. I didn't move for a full minute. Something inside me didn't break. It shifted. It closed the door and locked it. I didn't cry. What remained was procedure. I walked to the garage and opened my toolbox. Screwdriver. A replacement deadbolt I bought months ago for a forgotten project. I disassembled the front door lock screw by screw, methodically, hand steady. At 2:47 a.m., I installed the new deadbolt. The old key no longer worked. I checked the app. Her heart rate was down to 95, then 74. Whatever she'd been doing was finished. I pulled out heavy-duty garbage bags. I moved through the apartment collecting every item that belonged to her. Clothes, shoes, makeup, her coffee mug, her books. I didn't fold anything. I shoved it all into bags, tied them closed, and stacked 9 bags neatly on the porch. I made coffee and watched the sun come up. At 8:17 a.m., my phone buzzed. Just finished an amazing morning jog with Rachel. Coming home now, babe. Love you. I didn't reply. At 8:53 a.m., I heard her car in the driveway. Footsteps on the porch. Silence. The sound of her key sliding into the lock. Twisting. Stopping. Twisting again. Knocking. Babe, the key isn't working. Did you change the locks? More knocking. Hello. I walked to the door quietly. I picked up her backup smartwatch she'd left on the hallway. My girlfriend linked our smartwatch. We were hanging out that night, and I was literally...
Bro!
This is why I'm putting such that location.
Bro, I just found out who her dad is.
Bro.
Guy on flight watched entire movie.
Alright, bro. Okay, let me actually go on Reddit. Do I have Reddit? Bro, when did I delete Reddit? I guess delete. Okay. What is this?